What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I am here with you today to give you some updates to the situation with Xavien Howard and his off the field issue. His battery charge that he had gotten a little while back now, a few months ago, where he had pushed his woman into a mirror or the wall or something like that. Obviously an unacceptable thing, something he shouldn't do. He went to court. Although the charges did end up getting dropped, but full context and perspective, it's definitely unacceptable, but it wasn't anything to the extent of, like what happened with Mark Walton, where he apparently multiple times punched the woman involved there. So obviously not to that extent, but still an unacceptable thing. The charges did get dropped. And ultimately the updates to that are that he is not even going to be, suspended at all by the NFL. So real quick, before I continue on, with my analysis of this, let's go ahead and get into the details. Dolphins Xavien Howard won't be disciplined by NFL for domestic battery arrest. The NFL will not discipline Miami Dolphins cornerback Xavien Howard after he was arrested on a domestic battery charge. An NFL spokesperson confirmed the league has no plans to suspend Howard, per Hal Habib of the Palm Beach Post. Howard was arrested in December after allegedly pushing his fiancée into a mirror. The charge was later dropped. Prosecutors said they could not move forward without testimony from Howard's fiancée, who did not want to proceed with the case. She said their situation got out of hand, and she does not fear for her safety. The NFL could have punished Howard under their personal conduct policy, even without a conviction. So there you have it. Like I said, it wasn't as severe a situation as the Mark Walton case, but definitely something that is unacceptable. And look, so I'm going to have a take that's going to be unpopular amongst Dolphins fans and whatever. But I'm consistent, and I said this at the time, and I believe it, right? So, yes, the fact is it wasn't anywhere near as bad as what Mark Walton did, but it's still bad, and it's still something you should not do, and he should be held accountable for it. Now, he did seem to be remorseful, and, in the video when he went to court, and at the time, I said, to his defense, not that it's really worth much because I don't know him, but to me, he never seemed like the kind of guy that would do that, right? But obviously, the big thing, the most important thing is that it never happens again, right? We can chalk it up to it just being a mistake if it happens the one time. If it ever happens again, then it'll be a real problem. However, at the time, I did say, and I stand by stand by what I said then, to the tune of, look, he has to be held accountable. And he didn't get any kind of, real punishment from the judge because the case ended up getting dropped, right? Like he didn't have to do anything legally. And then the NFL decided to just completely drop it. I mean, at the very least, the NFL should have dropped him with a 4-game suspension and then maybe, let him have 2 after he appeals it, which he likely would have. But the fact that they decided to not give him anything, especially after, he wasn't held accountable for his actions in the court system, it sends a bad message. And so does that necessarily mean that, it's going to go to Xavien Howard's head and he's going to think he can get away with it again or whatever in the future and so it'll happen again? No, not necessarily. And like I said, I don't think, from my perspective and the little bit that I know of the guy, I mean, he's always seemed quiet and stuff like that and whatnot. So I never saw it and seemed kind of like a humble guy and whatnot. So I never saw that from him. I never thought that would be something that he would do, but he did. And so he has to never do it again. But I still think he should have, and to help, assure or ensure that doesn't happen again, he should have been punished. Like, he should have had something. He should have had some kind of punishment set down. But, you know, they decided no, and at the very least, the NFL is saying, I mean, look, the NFL's never been particularly good on almost any of these issues, right? They hid CTE for years, and, you know, when it comes to domestic violence, they don't really ever seem to punish guys. They punish guys far harder for smoking marijuana than they do, you know, beating up on women. Like, it's ridiculous, but that's, you know, they show their priorities, and so it's not totally surprising from the NFL side, not really surprising at all, to be honest, although maybe a little, because usually they do you know, drop a 4 game and then, you know, give them 2 after an appeal, and they should have done it here. But I guess, you know, they're saying, hey, at the very least, if you're a big enough star, we'll just let you off the hook. So it doesn't send any kind of a good message to me. You know, strictly from a football side or football perspective, you know, it'll be good to have him from day one if there's a season to be played and so on and so forth. But I think he should have been punished, and that's how I feel about it, because I'm consistent and I think people need to always be held accountable. So anyway, it is what it is. So he's 100% cleared of all charges, both legally and, you know, as far as the NFL is concerned. And so that's that. With that, I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.